Have you ever been going through life and you have everything planned and then out of nowhere, boom, life happens. And you're like, what? What do I do? Where do I go? This isn't how I planned it. Well, that's where I come in the picture. Welcome to the messy middle. I'm your host, Cassie Covey, and I will help you get through that. Let's do this. Okay, so what I'm seeing is we have an issue with the scale, like a super big issue with the scale. And I get it. Like, I totally understand. The first time when it was probably in, let's say, 2010, I hadn't been on the scale forever. Like, the scale and me, we were on the outs, we weren't friends, we weren't cool. So there was no reason for me to be on the scale unless I was at the doctor's office. One day the insurance company came in and I was talking to the guy, and he said, so hey, how much do you weigh? And I looked at him like real crazy-eyed. And I said, that's none of your business. That's between me and my doctor. And he just kind of looked at me and he was like, okay. So he looked at my husband and he's like, okay, so how much does she weigh? And he said, I don't know. And I was like, cool, And I look back on it and I couldn't tell you the last time that I got on the scale. Because to me, that number, it super messed with my head. And I couldn't do it. Like, I seriously could not do it. So when I started my journey and I got on a scale for the first time, I was like, okay. But then I couldn't do it. I couldn't get on that scale. Because to me, that number, man, it totally threw me off. Because I didn't see what I wanted to see. Here I am putting in all this work. And that number on the scale just didn't move. And I couldn't get it. I was like, why isn't it moving? Like, seriously, I'm doing everything I need to do and the scale doesn't move. And that's how it was. So after a while, I developed this relationship with the scale. And I was like, okay, it's going to be a tool and I'm going to use it to get what I need to get like I do all my other tools. Like, it's no big deal. Okay. So my spin on that was I'm going to weigh myself once a month. All right. I had weigh-in once a month. No biggie. I was like, all right, here's my goal. I want to lose this amount of body fat and this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to show up on this date every single month to weigh in. So that's what I did. I did what I needed to do. I showed up, and on that day I weighed in. Okay? So that day, I'd look at the scale, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, are you serious? I did not hit my goal. Like, why didn't I hit my goal? I'm dotting on my I's. I'm crossing on my T's. What's going on? Then I had to take a deep dive and a look into my stuff. Because was I really dotting on my I's? Was I really crossing on my T's? Or was I just putting like a half cross there and like this little like pin drop dot, So I had to look in the mirror and I had to get serious. I had to be like, all right, let's put it all on the table. So then I decided, okay, let's do this. I'm going to weigh myself every single week. All right, I'm just going to do it. So that's what I started to do. I started weighing myself every single week. And I'd get on there, I'd look at the number. Okay, get off the scale, do whatever. It took a minute for that to register. It took a minute for that number not to get in my head. Like, it seriously did, because that number would stop me in my tracks and it would put me in a place where I would say, I've done everything I need to do. Why doesn't this stupid scale move? Why don't the numbers change? Why is this happening? So then I'd still look at the number and I'd second guess everything I was doing. And I'm like, why am I doing this? It's not even working. Why should I keep going? Like, our mind takes us everywhere. Even though we do what we need to do, it just takes us everywhere. So then that lasted for a while. And I really let it take me out for a while because I was so focused on that number. I was so focused on that number needs to be a certain number. And if that number is a certain number, then I can get in this size jeans. That's what I can do. Let's make it happen. It didn't matter if I lost muscle. It didn't matter if I had more fat on my body than I did muscle. As long as that number on the scale moved, I was cool, that's what mattered to me. So the number was moving. I'm good with it, I'm doing whatever I need to do to hit that number. My eating wasn't good. I wasn't getting enough protein, I was becoming skinny fat, losing all my muscle, but that number on the scale was moving. So of course my brain was happy because the number on the scale was moving, because that was my goal, to lose weight. So then fast forward, I learned a lot about different things and about macronutrients and what your body needs and how important muscle is and how you need muscle as you age. And as you age, you lose muscle. So So you don't want to help the process. You want to lose fat, because the fat part, that's not what's good for you. Keep the muscle, lose the fat. So then I decided, okay, I developed an even better relationship with the scale, because now, man, it's a really good tool in my toolbox, and that's all it is. The number is a number. It's just a tool, okay? So every day I'd hop on a scale. If I went out of town, I took my scale with me. People thought I was crazy. Why are you weighing yourself every day? But that's me. That's a checks and balance. The number doesn't mean anything, but did what I eat yesterday make me a little bit more inflamed and make me gain a little bit of weight? That's what I want to know. I want to know how my body is reacting to the foods that I'm eating. So that's why I do it. It's that little checks and balances. I know my body pretty well, and I know how foods are going to affect me, and I know at different times, should I eat these kind of foods or not? Will they tear my stomach up? Will they make me retain water? What are they going to do? I know that because of what I've done. So each day I get on the scale. I write down the number. It's no big deal. If the number's gone up, then I look, I'm like, oh, well, yesterday I had a little bit more water before I went to bed. Or I ate something I'm not normally used to eating. So it affected my body a little differently. So then I gained water, or I'm inflamed. I didn't gain fat. I didn't eat an extra 3,500 calories. I didn't gain a pound of fat. That's the thing. That's the part of the scale that gets us so tripped up, because we look at that and we see a number, but we don't understand that number, okay? So we're gonna break that down. So you get on the scale, and let's say it says 50. So then you get off the scale. You drink 2 glasses of water. You get back on the scale. Let's say right now it says 51. You didn't gain a pound of fat. You just have more water in your body. So see, you didn't gain fat. You have more water. That number is just a number. What I need you to do is to stop putting the scale on a pedestal, to stop putting it all the way up, all the way on top of everything else, and letting that number rule your life and what you do. What I want you to focus on is the bigger picture, okay? The bigger picture is how much muscle mass are you carrying versus how much body fat are you carrying? Because you want to drop the body fat and you want more muscle mass, okay? You want to be able to get off the ground when you fall down. You don't want to just lay there because you've lost all your muscle and you can't get back up and you're not even 50 years old yet. No, you don't want that to happen. You want to be able to get off the toilet as you age. You want to be able to walk up the steps. You want to be able to put your groceries away. That's what you want to do. You want muscle mass. So that number on the scale, stop letting it hold you hostage. Stop giving it so much control over your life to where it dictates everything you do. Because I don't want you losing your muscle mass. I don't want you looking like your bones with saggy skin just hanging off of them. That's not cool. That's not cool. You could still be skinny and not be healthy. You can still be skinny and have a lot of body fat versus how much muscle mass you have, all because you're chasing the number on a scale. That's not what we want to do. We want to keep the muscle mass, and we want to add to the muscle mass, and we want to decrease the fat, okay? Let's say that again. We want to keep our muscle mass. We want to add to our muscle mass because we lose it as we age, and we want to decrease the fat. We don't want all that fat around our organs, because the more fat you have around your organs, the harder your organs have to breathe. Or not breathe, but the harder they have to work, because they have all this fat surrounding them. So think of it like this, okay? That number that has held you hostage for so long, all right? Think whatever that number is. Now think, I can take you through a process where I'm gonna recomp your body, all right? That number is gonna stay the same, but your body's gonna look totally different, because you're gonna lose the fat and you're gonna gain more muscle. Then you're gonna look at that scale and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm cool with it. I'm cool. You didn't lose a pound, but your clothes fit different. You may have gone down 2 pant sizes. Your shirts fit different. You may have lost a little bit of your boobs or your butt, but sometimes that happens, But anyway, you're gonna recomp your body. So you're gonna look like you lost 20 pounds. But you lost fat. The fat's gone. You've recomped your body. That's what you're going for. Get rid of the fat. Keep your muscle. So then you go on the scale. Say you can only go on it once a week. No, scratch that. Let's go back. Let's say you can only go on it once a month. That's fine. That's all I want you to do. Go on that scale once a month. Because I'm going to take you through a process to build your relationship up with the scale so that you and the scale become buddies. You're cool. Like, you can do whatever because you're cool. You know the scale's going to be there for you. It's going to hold you accountable. It's going to tell you the truth that you don't want to hear. It's going to tell you, you just ate the wrong foods yesterday that are tearing up your body. I need you to listen to me. That's what the scale is going to do for you. That's the tool that the scale is for you. So you're not going to get mad at the scale. You're going to let it school you. You're going to let it hold you accountable. And then you're going to do what needs to be done. And you're going to quit getting bitter about it. Quit getting so angry. Quit pointing the finger everywhere else except at yourself. So you're going to go once a month. You're going to hop on the scale. You're going to write that number down. It means nothing. The only thing that means something is you got on the scale. You faced it. That's a win. Pat yourself on the back because you did it. That's cool. Now, you've done that for about 3 months. You're cool with it. You and the scale, you're getting a little bit closer. And you're like, all right, I'm going to do this once a week. And why are you going to do it once a week? It's not because you care about the number. Because you don't care about the number. You're putting the work in. You're showing up. You're doing what you need to do. Everything's falling into place. You're only doing this because you need to develop your relationship with the scale to realize how good of a tool it is in your toolbox so that you continue to show up and do what you need to do and don't let it have power over you. That's why you're doing it. So then you're going to go to the scale once a week. And I recommend you do it on Monday because some people tend to think, and you might be one of those people, that Monday through Friday are different days compared to Saturday and Sunday. So they'll do good Monday through Friday. They'll follow their plan Monday through Friday. And then when Saturday and Sunday comes, they go off the rails. But they justify it because, it's the weekend. Who cares if it's a weekend? It's another day. 7 days in the week, those are 2 of the days. Okay? So I'm going to suggest that you weigh yourself on Monday. That way, you're not tempted to derail on the weekend and set yourself up to fail. Okay? So we're going to take that as a win. We're setting ourselves up to succeed as we go into the next week, not to fail. Okay? So you do that. You hop on the scale on Monday morning. You write the number down. No big deal. You go on about your day. Next week comes around, do the same thing. Man, you see how this is working? You're getting there. You just keep going. You look at the number and you're like, oh, you know what? I've done better. Like, the weekends, I don't treat those like where I just go crazy and I'm just going to hop back on it on Monday. And then I start all over and I kind of lose myself. I just rein everything in, and I know that those 2 days are just like Monday through Friday. And this is holding me accountable. Man, I'm learning stuff. This is pretty good. Me and the scale, we're getting a little bit closer now. Like, I'm starting to like this. It's holding me accountable, but it's cool because I'm learning. Okay? That's where you're at now. That's how you build that relationship. There's no resentment. There's no hatred. There's none of that. You're cool with it now. You look at it on a different level. It's teaching you. You're learning. It's all good. It's there to help you, not to hurt you. It just tells you the truth. And sometimes you don't want to hear the truth, so you get mad. Well, now you're cool with it because you know the work you're putting in. So it's all good. So then maybe if you want to tighten up the reins. You're like, man, me and the scale are cool. I just think I'm going to weigh myself every day. It's just a number. I just need to see where I'm at. Because I know that if that number jumps up a little bit, I did not gain fat in that one day that it jumped up. Okay? Remember that. You did not gain fat in that one day that it jumped up. All right? So then you weigh yourself every day. And you're becoming more accountable and more accountable. And who cares if people don't understand? They don't get it. They don't need to get it. This ain't about them. Let them handle their own issues. You're making yourself better. That's all it's about. It's about you getting better, showing up, doing what needs to be done for you, for no one else. Their issues are their issues. They're not yours. If they don't have a good relationship with the scale, that's on them. One day, hopefully, they'll get there. But let them figure it out, okay? Maybe they'll watch you and they'll start to learn. And their relationship will get better. We can pray about that. And we can hope that they work it out. But until then, you're going to focus on you, all right? So that's what you're doing. You're showing up every day. You're weighing yourself every day. And that number's just there. That's it. It's there. It's just a tool. Just a tool in your toolbox. It's letting you know where you're at, where you stand, and how everything's going. It's not holding you back. You're becoming besties. You see how this works? It's all good. So, when are you going to start? How's your relationship with the scale? That's the first thing. How is it? How's your relationship going to move forward? What steps are you going to put in place? What's your plan going to be? What time frame are you going to put on it? How are you going to handle this? See, all this is in your control. But the thing about it is, when you give the scale control, then you've just lost everything. So don't let it control you, because it's going to hold you back from everything that you do. Every single thing. So, once again, how is your relationship with the scale? What are you going to do to make it better? When are you going to start? Let's do this. Go once a month, then every week. Then you can go every day if you want. If you're cool with every week, go every week. Whatever you want to do. So hey, just let me know where you're going to start, and you got this. Keep going.